Hi friends, I'm back. I'm an English teacher, but I also want to give you more than just some basic English lessons. I think that most people who are studying English have a lot of what they need to speak English already in their brains. They just need the opportunity to use it. And it doesn't matter what your English level, you just need to use what you know. So today I'm just going to tell you a little about my life, and I'm going to ask a few questions along the way. And I'd love for you to interact with me by writing in the comments some of your answers or what you think in response to that. Today as I speak, I'm going to be using a lot of the present perfect continuous tense, but that certainly isn't the only one I'll be using. So as you listen to what I say, you can listen to it a couple different times and try to pick out as many instances of that present perfect continuous tense as you can. But be careful, don't confuse it with the present continuous tense, it's in there too. I've also hidden in this a phrasal verb, which could mean grab or take, or in this case, to start something new. So stick around for the end. I will break down this present perfect continuous tense a bit more, and we'll also see where I hid my secret phrasal verb in there. I'm Phil, an English teacher of over 18 years living in the Czech Republic. Thanks for joining me. What have you been doing lately? So how have you been lately? Please write in the comments what's been going on recently, and I'd love to hear about it. I'll let you know a few things that are going on in my life, and maybe that will kind of remind you of something in your own life that you can share about. I've been really busy lately, since the beginning of the year actually. I've been teaching my English lessons throughout the week, which are a mix of individual lessons, group lessons, and even some lessons at businesses around the city. I really do enjoy them all. I love teaching. I didn't pick up any new English lessons this semester. I'm only teaching the same ones that I taught in the past, so nothing new for me really in that way. I have also really been enjoying my children's lessons that I teach. The way that I've been teaching them this time is that I have been basing them off of children's books. My degree is in elementary education, so I really enjoy children's literature, so to be able to teach kids English using children's literature is really fun for me. I've been teaching a long time, and I really love it. Are you a teacher or a student? What have you been working on lately? How long have you been working in your profession, or how long have you been studying? Let me know in the comments. Teaching is not my entire life though, surprise. My wife and I have been getting our son settled in his school here in the Czech Republic. It is taking a bit of time to get adjusted to things, but we're really thankful for all the great people and teachers and resources that are available here. I have been believing, and I am still believing, that this will be a good school year for our son. Would you take just a second to like and subscribe this video if it's bringing you any joy or help today? That would really help in letting other people know about it too. Thanks. Another thing in my life, I have also started up reading the Bible with a few people during the week, and that's really fun for me too. It's fun because a lot of people think that reading the Bible can be very difficult, and it's true, it can. But I think when we do something like this that can be a little complicated, or it takes a little more thinking to figure it out, it's great to do it in a group where you can share together and learn from each other, and that's what I love to do. So I've been able to do that a few times through the week. What's something in your life that is really difficult for you, hard to understand, something you need to spend a little bit more time on? And one of my favorite parts of life, I've been reading. I love to read. I've already read 11 books this year, which I'm really proud of. And I'm currently reading probably 2 or 3 other books at the same time. That is probably not a good idea, but it's how I live. How about you? Do you enjoy reading? Have you been reading a lot of things recently? And what are you reading? I always love new book tips, so please let me know in the comments. So that's a little bit about my life. Let's take a second to break down a bit of what I talked about. I said I used a lot of the present perfect continuous tense. Did you catch some of it in there? That wasn't the only tense that I used, of course. I don't even think that's possible. But did you catch some of the instances of that tense? If you caught it, you'll remember our structure for this. It's has or have plus been plus the root form of the verb and ing. And when we ask questions, we just change things around a little bit. For yes or no questions, we have has or have plus the subject plus been plus the root word and ing. Have you been reading recently? Yes, I have. Or for other questions that use question words like what, where, how long, we do things a little bit differently. We start with the question word. So for example, what plus has or have plus the subject plus been plus root form plus ing. That's the question word, like what plus has or have plus the subject plus been plus the root form plus ing. You heard me use the words recently or lately maybe. These we use when we just want to talk about something that has been happening but not so long ago. Did you catch me break an English rule when I spoke? I did break a little English rule, but it happens more and more and more in speech these days. Some words should typically not be used with the continuous tense, in any continuous tense. They're more like states of being words, so we don't want to use them with the ing. But more and more in life and in communication, they are used this way. These words are believe, belong, forget, hate, hope, know, like, love, need, own, remember, want. So words like this really shouldn't be used with the ing, but they are, and I did it as well. I said, I have been believing that this will be a good school year. I have been believing. Usually we would just say, I believe, like it's just a state of being. But I said, I have been believing. And so I want to communicate, I was believing, I'm still believing. It's a process of believing. And I think it's okay to break a rule every once in a while in English. Have you heard anybody say, oh, I've really been loving that new Taylor Swift song, or something like this? It happens all the time in English. I also want to point out the difference between the present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. I asked a couple different questions that right next to each other that might have seemed really similar, and they are in meaning, but not necessarily in tense. So, how have you been lately? And how have you been doing lately? They both mean how are you, but the first one, how have you been lately? That's just the present perfect. And how have you been doing? It turns it into the present perfect continuous tense, but they still have the same meaning. And my hidden phrasal verb that means maybe take, maybe grab, but in this case to start something, pick up. Pick up. I said I didn't pick up any new English classes this year. I only have the same classes that I had in the past. I have nothing new. I didn't start anything new. So you can use this whenever you start a new class or start a new something that you're going to take with you. I didn't pick up any new classes at university this year, didn't pick up any new shifts at work this year or this week. I only have the same shifts that I had before. I didn't pick up anything new. Thanks a lot for joining me. Join me again next time where we talk about who knows what. Things about life, things that are important, but we'll do it in English, and we'll learn a little English along the way.